A Suffolk woman was found injured Saturday morning at a gas station in Yaphank and later died. Police say she was killed. News 12's Jenna Ray Gardner has the latest details.
He had only been out of prison for 63 days of parole. And on a quiet Saturday morning, May 16th, 2026, a 30-year-old mother of 3 was found bleeding and unresponsive inside her own car at a gas station in Yaphank, Long Island. People were standing right there. They saw what happened, and they could not stop it. Her name was Juliann Bachmann. She was a mother. She was someone's daughter, someone's sister, someone's whole world. And today, the man charged with ending her life is sitting in a Suffolk County jail, a man who had already shown the courts exactly who he was. In this video, we are going to break down everything: who Juliann was, what happened that morning, what the criminal complaint reveals about the brutality of this attack, and the one detail that should make every single one of us ask: how was this allowed to happen? Stay with me, because there are 3 things in this case that I need you to hear by the end of this video.
It all happened at the Speedway on the corner of Horseblock Road and Old Dock Road. Police responded to a call just before 7:30 Saturday morning.
This was crazy this morning. I must have been about 12, 15 cops coming from everywhere.
Police say when they arrived, they found 30-year-old Juliann Bachmann injured and unresponsive in a car at the gas station.
Before we go anywhere near what happened at that gas station, you need to know who we are talking about. Juliann Bachmann was 30 years old. She lived in Bellport, a community on the south shore of Long Island in Suffolk County, New York. She was a mother, and not just in name. Juliann was raising 3 children on her own: a 10-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old baby. Think about that for a second. A 1-year-old, a child who will not have a single memory of their mother. Her sister, Kristen Bachmann, described her as the sole provider for those children, the one who kept the lights on, the one who got them to school, the one whose entire world revolved around making sure her kids had what they needed. When Juliann was killed, she did not just lose her life. 3 children lost the person they depended on completely. According to property records reported by Greater Long Island, Juliann shared a home with the man now charged with her murder at the Rosemont Brookhaven apartment complex on Wisteria Circle in Bellport, less than 1 mile from where she would be killed. She was living with him, under the same roof as her children. On the morning of Saturday, May 16, 2026, Suffolk County Police received a call about an incident at a Speedway gas station located at 80A Horseblock Road in Yaphank. At 7:25 in the morning, officers arrived and found Juliann Bachmann inside a vehicle parked at the station. She was injured. She was unresponsive. She could not speak for herself. She could not tell anyone what had been done to her. Paramedics transported her to NYU Langone Hospital, Suffolk in Patchogue. She was pronounced dead. The Suffolk County Police Department Homicide Squad immediately took over the investigation, and it did not take long for detectives to conclude that what happened to Juliann was not an accident. This was a criminal act. But here is what the news reports did not initially say. What came out at arraignment and in the criminal complaint tells a far more disturbing story. According to prosecutors, Michael McHenry, Juliann's boyfriend and the man she shared a home with, stabbed her in the neck and in the chest. He attacked her while she was inside her car. And then, as if that was not enough, he dragged her out of the vehicle and continued the assault on the ground outside. People were there. At a gas station on a Saturday morning, people were standing nearby, watching this unfold, and they could not stop it. After the attack, McHenry fled on foot. He left her there. He left Juliann lying at a gas station and walked away. It would be nearly 12 hours before police arrested him at 8:13 that same evening. Michael McHenry is 40 years old. He lived at the same Wisteria Circle address as Juliann. According to the New York Post and Greater Long Island, the two were in a romantic relationship. He was arrested on the evening of May 16th and charged with second-degree murder. The following day, Sunday, May 17th, he appeared at Suffolk County 1st District Court in Central Islip for his arraignment. He entered a plea of not guilty. He is currently being held without bail. Now, here is the part that I cannot move past. Michael McHenry was on parole. He had been released from prison on March 11th, 2026, just over 2 months before Juliann was killed. He had served approximately 1 year and 3 months on a prior conviction for second-degree attempted assault. Let me be clear about what that means. This man had already been convicted of violent behavior. He had already been through the system. He had already served time. And 63 days after walking out of that prison, Juliann Bachmann is dead. The system knew who he was. The courts knew who he was, and he was back in her home. The day after Juliann's murder, approximately 50 of her friends and family members gathered at the very gas station where she was killed. They came with candles. They came to say her name out loud in the place where she took her last breath. They came because she deserved to be mourned publicly with the same visibility that her death had been so violently public. Juliann's sister Kristen launched a GoFundMe campaign for the 3 children Juliann left behind. In the campaign, Kristen wrote that her nieces and nephew had lost their sole provider, and she asked the community to help give those children the life their mother had been working so hard to build for them. Within days, more than 75 donors had contributed over $7,000. 75 people who may have never met Juliann Bachmann opened their wallets for her children because they understood exactly what was taken from that family on May 16th. Not just a life, a foundation, a future. If you want to support Juliann's children, the GoFundMe link is searchable under Support for Juliann's Children After Tragedy. I want to sit with this for a moment because I think we have to say out loud what a lot of people are thinking. Michael McHenry had a prior conviction for attempted assault. He was released from prison in March 2026 after serving time for a violent offense. 2 months later, he is accused of a brutal public daylight stabbing murder of the woman he lived with, the mother of 3 young children. Parole conditions exist for a reason. Supervision exists for a reason. The question that this community, and frankly, anyone paying attention to this case, deserves an answer to is, what did that supervision look like? What did those 63 days of parole look like for Michael McHenry? Were there warning signs? Was anyone watching? Because Juliann Bachmann was in that apartment with him, and 3 children were there too. Domestic violence does not announce itself. It does not always leave visible marks before it becomes fatal. But the pattern of violent prior offense, a romantic partner, a shared home, is one that advocates and researchers have been raising alarms about for years. Juliann deserved more. Children deserved more. Juliann Bachmann was 30 years old. She was raising a 10-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a baby who is not yet old enough to say her name. She was the sole provider for her household. She was somebody's everything. She did not die quietly. She died in a public place, in the daylight, in front of witnesses, and now she deserves to be known publicly too. Not for how she died, but for who she was and for the children she's loved. The case is still developing. Michael McHenry has pleaded not guilty and is being held without bail pending further court proceedings. As soon as there are updates on the arraignment, on trial proceedings, on anything involving justice for Juliann, I will be right here covering it. Make sure you are subscribed with the bell on so you are the first to know. Before you go, I want to ask you something. Juliann's children lost their sole provider in a single morning. What do you think needs to change in how the system monitors violent offenders on parole? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one of them. Juliann Bachmann. Say her name.